Hi, you having problems with your toilet clogging up? You're spending big bucks on plumbers each and every time you get a complaint about a clog. My name is John. I'm from New Jersey. Let me show you what we can do for you. One of the most widely used tools in removing blockages in your toilet bowl is your ordinary common plunger. Very effective, however, it's not going to remove every blockage that you would encounter. Another tool someone may recommend to remove hard blockages in your toilet is a bladder. I would not recommend using a bladder. If you do, you may run into the chance of blowing out your wax ring. What I have here is the common ordinary wax ring. As the name implies, it's basically made of wax. This goes between the floor and your toilet, and it prevents leaks between the two. Wax is very, very delicate, and with any high pressure, you run the chance of blowing this out. For those stubborn hard blockages in your toilet that you really must remove, you don't want to spend hundreds of dollars calling a plumber or remove the toilet from the base. What I would recommend using is the toilet auger. This right here is your common toilet auger bought in any big box store. In order to use the toilet auger successfully, you need to understand the 4 basic steps. Those 4 basic steps are shown on the screen in front of you. Let's briefly go through each step for a better understanding of how to use this tool. Step number 1. You want to hold the tube of the toilet auger in one hand, and with your other hand you want to pull back on the handle. That will recede the cable end of the toilet auger into the tube. Step number 2. What you want to do, you want to take the cable end of the toilet auger and insert it into the bottom of your toilet bowl. Make sure you tilt the top end of the toilet auger towards the front of the bowl. Step number 3. What you want to do, you want to push down on the handle while turning in a clockwise direction. What that will do will extend the cable end of the toilet auger into the passageways of the toilet bowl. You won't see the cable end, it will be well hidden. Eventually, hopefully, you'll be hitting a hard blockage, which you'll feel as you're pushing down and turning the handle. Step number 4. Once you hit your hard blockage, what you want to do is keep turning in a clockwise direction and pull up on the handle. That will recede the cable end of the toilet auger into the tube, and eventually it should pull it out of the bottom of the bowl. There are cases that you may accidentally push the hard blockage through the entire system with the toilet auger instead of retrieving it. If that happens, that's okay. Chances are, once the hard blockage gets into the waste pipe, it will simply flush down, and your job will be done. In order to demonstrate the toilet auger, what I have to do, I have to create a blockage in my toilet. I'm going to take this rag, it's approximately about 1 foot by 8 inches, and I'm going to shove it into the passageways of my toilet. Hopefully we'll create a blockage. This toilet that I have here is known to just about flush anything that I put into it. Let's do it. Now, what we saw before was the 4 steps in using a toilet auger on paper. So let's do it for real. Right here, we got our toilet auger, our flexible end, our tube that the cable is going to ride into, and of course our handle. First step says that we must pull on the handle, and you're going to see the cable end slowly disappear. There we go. It's probably about 8 inches, almost 1 foot sticking out, but that's okay. This end right here, this red, is actually a vinyl plastic coating on the metal tube. What that will do is prevent scratching or any kind of damage to the bottom of the toilet bowl as we insert this part into the toilet. This right here, this little curlicue thing at the end, this is what's going to grab the blockage. In our case, it's going to be a towel. What we have here is our toilet bowl. It does have a blockage actually right at the base of the toilet. You won't be able to see it. And just for video effect, we added some toilet paper and a little surprise down at the bottom. Not trying to be funny, but you're going to see this when you encounter a plugged toilet. Okay, we're going to take our toilet auger and proceed to step number 2. And to get this all lined up. This is the curlicue part that's going to grab the towel, or our blockage, whatever it may be. And here again is our plastic coated part of the tube that will actually protect the toilet from any scratching. Very carefully, what we want to do is insert this tool down into the passageway. Very, very easy. And now, as you can see, let me move some of our nice stuff out of the way. You can see that the red sleeve is now firmly tucked down into the bottom of the bowl. Step number 3, we're going to take our tool now and easily go in a clockwise motion while pushing down on the rod. Now this is actually forcing the cable section of this tool into the passageway of the toilet. You won't be able to see anything in the bottom of the toilet because the cable is actually within the passageway rather than in the bottom of the bowl where you saw my surprises. So here I go, still going, pretty far down in there. And did I snag anything? They have a winner. I think we got a big one on here. Slowly but surely, we're getting somewheres with this. It's a big one. Alright, the water is pretty mucky, as you can imagine, from turning up everything. But I'm still pulling outwards. And this is a big one. I think we're almost there. Little by little. Alright, I think I pretty much got the rod out as much as possible from inside the tube. So what I'm going to try doing now is carefully pulling out the tube from the toilet, taking care not to damage anything. And what do we have? Well, it slipped off, but here's our blockage. Now, with this out of the toilet, if I flush the toilet, my little gifts should end up in my little septic tank. Down the hatch. Alright. Let's see what we have here. Our water's a little mucky. Smells like hell. Here's our prize. All taken care of. Now that my toilet's working, I guess we could remove this out of service sign. It works just as good as it did when it was new, which is probably 1910. However, before I conclude this clip, what I want to do is point out a couple things regarding the auger. As I mentioned at the beginning of the clip, these type augers are bought in just about every big box store, plumbing stores, whatever. But I want to show you something that you got to be aware of. The tip. Different augers have different size tips. If you happen to buy an auger with a very, very small pigtail type tip, there is a possibility that it could slip right past the blockage. You'll put the auger into the toilet, extend it fully out just like we did before. It'll go past the blockage. No matter how much you try turning, it may not catch it and you'll pull up without anything on the end of it. Me personally, I like the biggest end possible. This one here is about 1 inch wide from left to right in the picture here, and it does a pretty good job. Well, I hope this video has been helpful, and I hope it saves you a lot of money in future blockages. You're more than welcome to respond back on MrLandlord.com Q&A, and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have. Till then, we'll see you later. Time to eat. Bon appetit.